Here. All right, first order of business tonight is the acceptance of the minutes from June 8th, 2021. Has everybody had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Any comments, revisions, changes?
No, it's fine.
No? Good. All right, could I have a motion, please, to accept the minutes as written?
Yeah, make a motion to accept.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. All right. Second order of business tonight is adjourn public hearing, appeal number 217729, Mary Biasotti, seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R40 zoning district, where 25 feet to the side yard property line is required. The applicant can provide 0 feet for the legalization of an existing deck extension, thus requesting a variance of 25 feet. The property is located at 63 Brothers Road and is identified as tax grid number 625804952-180 in the town of Wappinger. Could I have a motion, please, to open the public hearing?
I make a motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, I believe Mary just walked in. Hello, Mary. And Assemblyman, how are you?
Kieran Waller on behalf of Mary Biasotti.
Gotcha. I think I recognize you.
I've been around.
So for the public, what we'd like you to do, and for the board's benefit, is just give a brief description of what you need and why you need it.
Okay. So my client has lived in the house for more than 50 years. It's actually the street that I grew up on, Brothers Road. And before zoning, they put up the original slab for the porch.
Correct.
The neighbors are very friendly, but there is the issue with the property line. Our goal tonight would be to get a 60-day variance so that Mrs. Biasotti can sell the property. Our hope is that the 60-day variance can begin the day of closing. The purchaser of this property, who's already has clear to close, and Mrs. Biasotti is ready to move, and both parties are ready to move forward. He's a contractor, so he's very capable of doing that work himself. He and his lender are amenable to this 60-day variance, and it would solve a lot of problems for all the parties involved.
Got it. Okay, so last go around, right? We did a site visit a couple weeks ago at the house. We see the lay of the land, so to speak, and understand what's going on. And the existing deck has been there a while, and the property line basically runs at a skew, right, of the deck. Now, the deck, the way it extends all the way out, just refamiliarize myself with the plan real quick. Okay, here we go. Runs out, and currently is actually an encroachment on the property, right? So at the very end of the deck, if they were to, I believe, remove the stairs, you would still need basically like a 0 or 100% variance. So when we were out there and looked at the conditions and saw that existing slab that's there, and the deck is basically built on top of that, we had spoke to Mary last time around saying that if you cut the deck back to about where the slab is, you would probably have about 3 or 4 feet to the property line, and that's something we as a board would entertain on ruling on a variance. The way it exists today, whether it's in the encroachment or right on the property line, would be a 100% variance. We really can't move forward with a 100% variance. So we had asked Mary if she could determine or have her surveyor determine what that exact distance is from the concrete to the property line, then we'd be able to make an educated judgment and rule on the variance. But I don't know if that was done. Did the surveyor do that?
Yes.
Okay. Can we see what that is? Sure. Okay, there you go. Okay, so you guys want to take a pause? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's
4.2, so we're pretty close.
right, we would guess it's gonna be about 3 or 4 feet from that concrete, from that existing concrete slab over to that property line. And so we had explained to Mary that if we removed the deck, it's kind of a logical spot to cut the deck, because then you'll have a structural, base. Otherwise, if you try to cut it in between, then you're gonna have to put in girders and footing. Expensive. So we figured that would be a more logical spot to cut the deck back to that point.
Are you saying prior to the closing?
Say it again?
Are you saying cut it back prior to the closing?
No, we can make it a condition. Yeah, right, with Barb, I believe when we were speaking about this last week, we said that, if that was something that the applicant would entertain doing, we certainly would be able to rule on it.
Yes.
Is that what your 60-day
Yes.
clause basically is? Gotcha.
So- I'm texting with Jim Haran,
Yes, okay.
and there is no 60-day variance. The variance runs with the land,
Okay.
so we don't have a temporary variance,
So we were to rule on the variance, that we could make a stipulation that the condition would need to be corrected within.
You could do
30 or
that and give
60
them a
days.
60-day stay.
Right,
Yeah, we'd agree with that.
right. Okay. You got them? Okay.
Yeah, we all
You
got 'em.
got one? Okay.
Yes.
So we all see that. Yeah, that's it. That's pure, and it's kind of what we guessed it would be. And we thought that would be a logical point, especially the concrete, it's probably been there for God knows how long.
I mean, it's still a substantial variance, but
Still, right.
because the concrete is there in pre-code,
Yeah.
like, that's the only reason why I think we're entertaining that.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
I think that the concrete goes back to 1955.
Yes,
Goes back before a lot of us.
yes, exactly. Barbara, do we have to officially enter this document into the record at all?
Yes, we should have that for the record.
So we'll keep this, right?
So Pete, just for clarification, what we discussed
Yes,
is that the deck will be cut back to the concrete,
that's correct.
and the proposed variance will be now 4.2 feet?
No, the distance
Distance.
from the
Yeah.
concrete to the property line would be 4.2, but we have to do the math from the property line, right? Say it again? Right, but what, the variance that you're requesting would
They
be
needed
4.2
25
feet, less
feet.
25 feet.
And
Yeah,
so they were only going to have 4 point,
4
so
point,
20
feet.
feet and 8 inch.
so we have to figure out.
It's about 18%.
But if you did 25, right, less the 4.2,
Yeah, so
the
20.8,
variance you need, which is,
20.8.
20 foot 8 inch.
so you're actually requesting a 20.8-foot variance.
Yes,
Is 83%?
yeah. Yeah, okay.
and you have to state your name for the record.
Yeah,
Yes, my name's Ed Lamando, and I'm Mary's favorite son-in-law when no one else is around.
tonight.
Being that this property was done and the house was done in the 60s, it's 60 years old.
Sure.
So technically, it's a non-conforming zoning law. So what we were looking to do is take the 7.6 to 4.2, which is a 55% change, not from 25 feet to 4 feet. Because when it was
So-
built prior to,
So zoning came in 1963,
and this was prior to that, right?
but that deck wasn't built then. The deck was built well after
Correct, but the
zoning came in.
concrete was still there.
But they're allowing you to keep the concrete. So
Correct,
anything,
percentages
no, I
of
understand that,
that's
but
all.
we have to go by today's code. It's 25 feet to the side.
And the 7.6 feet is from the house to the line.
That's correct.
So we're not looking at that. I mean, that's there.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the house was put there
Yes.
in 61.
Right.
So I'm just saying the percentage from 7.6 to 4.2 is 55%, not 25 feet to 4.2
Right, but we
feet.
have to go by today's numbers.
Right.
Ultimately, the thing was built 60 years ago,
Right.
non-conforming. So
Right, but
that's
the-
all I'm saying.
Sure, but the variance that we're looking at still is, 4.2 feet to the property line. Right, so we're looking at a 20.8-foot variance. Follow me? Point, it is point.
Yeah. And keep in mind, the concrete is landscaping, right? It's hardscaping. It's not a deck, right? Like, the concrete could go all the way to the property line, because it's hardscaping, the same as a patio or driveway. But, you know, the decks
Deck is
are,
different.
you know, it's the wood cladding that makes it a deck
Yeah.
and kicks this in.
So there was a previous sunroom, if you will, off of that 10-foot slab that was there. Right. And that wall was taken down and the deck was put on
Which,
in 94.
but we don't have, town don't have any record of it. So we have to go by your words, right?
Okay.
Because there is no record of the cement or the sunroom. So we have to go with what
We're assuming it was
Right.
built
Right.
in the house, but
Right, exactly.
So,
Right.
so, Mr. Chair, does the appeal doesn't have, I mean, has that been updated to where we can provide 0 feet to,
So the public hearing notice was they could provide 0 feet. So you can't, well, you can't go more than that anyway,
Right.
0, but they can make it less.
Right.
And
So it should be
those
okay.
numbers are just being presented tonight. So we'd be adjusting this to whatever you agree to.
Right.
at
So the
tonight's
public was
meeting.
made aware of 0 feet.
Correct.
We're actually moving 4 feet
That's correct.
in,
Right.
away from the property,
So it's,
Yeah.
which is a positive
Which
step.
is
but
positive.
what Barbara's explaining is that, so you're requesting less of a variance than you originally were.
Correct.
Right.
Which I think shows my
So-
client's willingness to work with
Right.
everybody involved.
And it doesn't have to be re-publicized, is the word, right?
Do you know what the future owner is planning to do?
I know he's going to comply with whatever we come up with today. He has plans to comply with this, what we're discussing today, based on the survey and the 4+ feet.
Right. Okay. You guys have any other
I would
questions?
note that this issue forced my client to reduce the value of her house, or the sale price of her house.
Sure.
Because she is handing this purchaser
Right.
an issue to deal with, so.
Right. I understand that. The upside is it's a seller's market, right? That's the upside. You know, you're selling your house at a good time, I guess is what I'm saying. Right.
Okay.
If anybody, go ahead. You have another question, Tom?
I don't,
No?
Do you want to wait just a minute? I'm sending this to Jim Haran,
Oh, yeah,
since
sure.
we don't have one of our attorneys present.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Can you put it on speaker? I do want to speak to him.
No, I just sent him a picture of the survey.
So we can ask publics if they have any objection or opinions. Right, then we can-
I think so. She said it's in the-
What's the question you're posing to Mr. Haran?
Well, that's a really huge variance, and I'm just, I showed him that the house didn't meet the setback at the time, and I'm just telling him what's happening and that we're gonna, if the board is in agreement with your proposal, is it okay that we put the 60-foot, I'm sorry, the
60 days?
60-day
Okay.
condition in?
Well, that's something we have not
It's a
done.
very large variance, and it runs with the land forever. So technically, the new owner could come in and ask to put a room on that, 4 feet from the property line. So,
In future, right, anytime, once we grant,
Yeah, but you would have-
once we grant
You would
variance.
have this board as a check and
a
balance.
board, yes, but I'm just checking for the legality, not that we grant something tonight that we then have to find that we did it in error, so I'm just checking.
Can we condition that?
Yeah. Can we make a stipulation that nothing but a deck can remain on that slab?
You're entitled to make whatever stipulations you want. Somebody else can then come in for,
Yeah.
to
I
have
think we had to
them
condition that, and
removed.
we have to condition that it can't be extended more than 10 feet, right? So they wouldn't be able to do, right? We don't want this condition.
Oh, right, right.
And it can't be built up.
Yeah.
Right.
It's certainly remote, but a possibility.
By the way, thank you for doing that.
Mr. Chairman, do we agree that pending Mr. Haran's approval of this agreement, the variance with the 60 days would be granted?
Well, you should be answering them
Yeah.
in a minute or two.
I'd like to hear him weigh in, quite honestly.
She's been in the house since LBJ was president, so we can wait a few minutes to get this
Yes.
taken care of.
I believe that. Can we put this on for second call, maybe move on with our calendar? Would that be a problem? We're waiting for an answer, or?
Good, as long as they agree.
If you have no,
Yes.
would you mind?
Would you?
That's fine.
Okay, great.
The other ones are pretty, thank you, sir.
If you need
You,
to-
much appreciated.
Okay, so while we're waiting the attorney's advice on this ruling, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda to keep things moving. So the next item on tonight's agenda is appeal number 217730. Michael Mojica seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R40 zoning district where no accessory structure is permitted in the front yard. The applicant is seeking a variance to allow for a 12 by 21 above-ground pool to be placed in their front yard. The property is located at 20 Relier Terrace and is identified as tax grid number 625602 608-945 in the town of Wappinger. Could I have a motion, please, to open the public hearing?
I make a,
Can I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
aye.
All right, great. Michael, good evening, how are you?
How are you guys?
Good. Could you please, for the benefit of the board and the audience, is there a quick, brief description of what you need and why you need it?
I'm looking to put a pool in what is considered technically my front yard. It's on the side of my house, but it's connects to a road, so I'm here to get that variance.
Got you. So we were all out there on Saturday to do a
Indeed you
good
were.
look. You know, we see exactly what's going on there. You know, the road kind of bends around, you know, your property, so your side is your front, so to speak, that comes around your front. So it was pretty apparent, you know, at what's going on and how big the property is as well.
Also, Pete, it was pretty obvious that was the correct spot. If I-
Yeah, yeah.
Well, with the well.
It
Right.
seemed like the only other option would be immediately behind the house, which I think we all understand why you wouldn't necessarily want it at that location.
Yeah, and then you have your well in the back, and you have your septic, you know, in the front, and you have your septic tank on the side front. So it's pretty apparent what's going on there. I know you guys have any other questions?
It was your intent to fence this in also then, right? You're gonna,
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much fenced in as it is,
Yeah.
but I would run a fence, I mean, from the side of the house to kind of block it off so the kids can't just you know what I mean, go over there, but.
Okay, so it'll be shaded. You won't be able to see it basically from anywhere once the fence
Well,
is
right
up.
now, if I put it in today, you wouldn't be able to see it anywhere, because there is a fence there.
Okay.
Any other questions?
This is the above-ground pool, right? But-
Yes.
Yes.
Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Have a motion,
Good.
please, to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close public hearing.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Alan has a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, could I have a motion, please, to grant or deny the applicant the variance?
I make a motion to grant the variant. Yeah. After reviewing the applications and after site visit we had and talk about what you just shown here, I think I like to propose to grant the variance. This difficulty is self-created. As you know, it was there, it could have done different way initially, but it was self-created. But granting this variant will not create substantial any deterrent to the near property, so it should be okay.
Thank you, sir.
There is no other possible method, as we visited that day, that you can achieve what you are looking for. So I think that's fine. This proposed variant will not have any adverse effect or impact on environmental or physical impact on the neighborhood or even in a district-wise. So I like to make a motion to grant the variance.
Thank you.
I'll second.
You have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Roll
Aye.
call, please.
Mr. Delacorte?
Yes.
Mr. Lorenzini?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Benali?
Yes. All right, so your variance has been granted.
Thanks, guys.
You're free to
Appreciate
go.
it.
We have answers. Mr. Lawler? So, Mr. Haran said, obviously, the variance, if you want to grant it for 20.8, is up to you. The variance should be conditioned on pulling a building permit, inspection and approval of the deck, removal and completion of what's there. He's concerned they're going to screw up the footings and stairs, but we'll take care of that in the building department. The variance is permanent. As they move forward, she's going to need, or the new owner, new plans showing footings. If it's still on top, it's going to need railings, et cetera. So we can work with this if it's granted. I would put the 60-day stipulation. We'll calendar it to make sure it's down. And then whoever buys your home will then have to take over this permit, change out their information, their insurance, et cetera. And then they'll have to bring in plans for how they're going to take part of it away and then meet the code of 2020 to.
Okay, so
Should we stipulate, Barbara, that only the deck can be placed upon that concrete slab and not an addition?
That's up to this board.
Yes.
That's at your discretion.
can I just clarify a couple things?
Sure.
The permitting and inspection would be done post-closing by the new
After
owner?
the 60 days.
During the 60 days.
Well, no, if they do this, they're going to give your client 60 days. You said in the beginning, by then she will no longer own it. So it would be incumbent on the new owner.
Right, what I had asked for, and I'm willing to
Right.
work with you, was 60 days from the date of closing to give the new owner time to get
So,
it to
but you have to be specific to this board because we have to have a date certain that it has to be
Right.
fixed.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't have
So
it.
we don't have a
Concrete
closing
closing,
date
right.
because this is
Sure.
an obstacle right now, but I
Yes.
think we're clearing it. I can estimate a closing date and
I would think.
add 60 days from it.
Yeah, I'm
How's
sorry, I
Sep-
didn't mean to interrupt you.
How's
but-
September 15th?
I was just gonna say, July
that's-
15th would be a closing date and September 15th would be perfect.
Right, I
That'll
think
work out.
we
Another
just
few
pick a day
weeks,
certain.
the deck's been there.
And then we're not guessing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And I think that would be ample time, you know, for, you know, to take care of the demo. It's not that difficult, really. Okay, so, all that being said, any more questions from the board?
So we have to be clear about the conditions before we grant it? Do we have to spell it out with the conditions?
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have to spell it out with the conditions.
All right.
Okay.
feet?
We can move forward. I think we can move forward.
Yes.
I don't have any more questions. I'm prepared to move on. You guys all
Just-
set?
Yeah.
Is there anyone in the audience?
Oh, I'm sorry. If anybody in the audience have anything to say or comment on the application? No? The record show nobody in the audience. Could I have a motion, please, to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion, close.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so moved. Could I have a motion, please, to grant or deny the applicant the variance? Okay,
I think there's
so
more.
I will make a motion to grant the applicant the variance based on the following. First, whether the benefit can be achieved by any other feasible means. It basically cannot. Does it create an undesirable change in the neighborhood? No, it does not. Is the request substantial? Yes, it's quite substantial. Does the request have any physical or environmental effects? No. Is the difficulty self-created? Yes, it is. However, along with the granting of the variance, we'd have a stipulation that the deck needs to be removed to the point of the concrete by September 15th. Also, that no other structure can be built on top of the slab other than a deck. And a building permit and all that is needed to accomplish that will have to be,
Yes.
obtained by the building department.
That's my understanding.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Yeah, make a second.
Could we just add one thing to that?
Sure.
The 10-foot distance from the house, do we want to,
Yeah, the deck, and I'm not quite sure how to state this, I'll show you. But,
Still we measure it.
David makes a good point, right? So the variance would be 10 foot off the top, your deck off of here, that 4.2 feet off of here. Technically, right, if somebody wanted to be a wise guy, they could do, like, make the deck go like this, right? And it would still be 4 feet off that property line.
So you want to limit the,
Yes,
Be,
limit, I think we would have to limit it to 10 feet, you know, the depth of the deck to 10
depth from
feet.
the rear of the house 10 feet back?
That's correct.
I mean, they could still do, they could still do 25
I don't think they're going to build a deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll make that stipulation as well. Okay, if the deck, the depth of the deck would need to be.
In case you don't take
10
that.
feet.
Take that one, because I have no, I'm good.
So the width of the deck is not gonna change, still could be 15.3
That's correct.
feet?
Yeah,
Has to be
it's the
15
depth. The depth of the deck cannot exceed 10 feet.
Oh, I think the width could be the full back of the house, I would
Yeah.
think. I mean, that could be whatever
Yeah.
width they want.
Right.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, as you move
Just keep
towards the center of the
going.
house, there's no
Yeah.
property.
Well,
line.
they have two decks. If they wanted to combine the two, that would be
Right,
totally within
exactly.
their right.
So we're all clear on that, right? All right, for the record, right, I have to go back now to myself, right? For the record, the depth of the deck cannot exceed 10 feet. And no other structure can be built upon the concrete slab except the deck.
Can we just clarify, the deck cannot exceed 10 feet to the rear?
Correct.
Yes.
They can, but
Oh,
I
to
want the
rear.
word rear.
Okay,
I'm fine with that term.
okay. Could I have a second?
yes, a second with those conditions.
Roll call, please, B.
Mr. Delacorte?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Valani?
Yes. Okay, your variance has been granted.
Okay, thank you.
With the stipulations, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, next up on the agenda. Appeal number 217732, George and Teresa Baker, seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R20 zoning district, where 20 feet to the side yard property line is required. The applicant can provide 14 feet for the construction of a 20 by 26 addition, thus requesting a variance of 6 feet. The property is located at 123 Edge Hill Drive and is identified as tax grid number 6358-03075-079 in the town of Wappingers. Can I have a motion, to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, Teresa,
Hello.
hello. So you know the routine, right, by now?
Yes.
So just here, for the benefit of the board and anybody that might be listening in, can we just please have a brief description of what you need and why you need it?
Sure, I want to put an extension on the house. I will be getting my sister, and we only have the one bathroom and one shower, so we want to expand the one bedroom which is small now, for an adult that has her own big space, and put an extra bathroom for my husband and I, so she has her own shower and bathroom.
Gotcha. All right, so we were all out at the site this past Saturday to look at what you got going on, your property line, your neighbor, and all that important stuff, see what you're doing. I know I think we asked and you answered, the addition's going out into the driveway.
Yes.
And you're gonna pull straight on into the garage at that
Correct.
point, so basically underneath
Correct.
the addition. So you're not changing the driveway location at all?
Correct.
Correct. Got it. So there'll be no curb cut issues, with
Right.
that. And then the addition, of course, is gonna basically match the house, mirror the
Correct.
house, the finishes on the outside and the exterior.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. You guys have any other questions?
I don't.
Yeah, I think it was pretty straightforward. Yeah, I feel bad for you. You're gonna have to rip up all that nice landscaping and hardscaping you had going on over there. It's a beautiful piece of property.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either. That being said, anybody in the audience have any comments or questions about the application? Could you state your name and address?
Sure, my name's Robert Hamilton, 1.1 Edgefield Drive.
Crying up there. I'm gonna bring you up to the microphone.
I'm only here to support my neighbor and what they're doing. I don't see any negative impact and any improvement to one home improves the neighborhood.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Like you said, it's a very beautiful piece of property. He does
very
a
nice,
really nice job of keeping up that property. Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the more you keep saying that, the more I panic.
I don't want to say it anymore. All right, all that being said, could I have a motion to close the public
Motion to
hearing?
close?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Could I have a motion, please, to grant or deny the applicant the variance?
I'll make a motion to grant. The requested variance will not produce an undesirable change in character in the neighborhood. No substantial detriment will be created to nearby properties. There's no other feasible method available other than go in the back, but that ain't gonna happen. The requested area variance is not substantial. The proposed variance will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district. The alleged difficulty is self-created, but I don't believe there is another way to put an addition on that house. So for all those reasons, I would say that we grant.
Okay, could I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Roll
All
call.
right, roll call, please, B.
Yes.
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 Yes, your variance has been granted.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Good luck.
All right, next up on the agenda tonight is appeal number 21-7733. Jason Rogers, seeking an area variance section 24037 of the district regulations in an R40 zoning district, where 25 feet to the rear property line is required. The applicant can provide 14.7 feet for the construction of a 12 by 26 deck with stairs, thus requesting a variance of 10.3 feet. The property is located at 53 Fieldston Loop and is identified as tax grid number 6257-06320-751 in the town of Wappinger. Could I have a motion, please, to open the public hearing?
Make the motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
So moved. Okay, Lisa. So, for the benefit of everybody that might be listening in, let us know what you want and why you need it.
Lisa of My Way Home Improvements, representing Jason Rogers of 53 Fieldstone Loop. And we are requesting a variance of 10.3 feet, constructing a 12 by 26 deck. And therefore, here I am.
Okay, so we were at the site on Saturday.
Yep.
Took a look at what's going on. The rear property line was not located, but, you know, you had the certified survey, so we had a pretty good idea what's going on there. We had a couple of questions that were clarified. That you have 16.7 feet to the deck now, correct? The rear property line? You're extending
We
that
can
out 2
provide,
feet.
we can provide 14.7.
The existing condition.
Oh, yes, correct, yeah.
You have 16.7 to the rear deck, you're extending that out 2 feet.
Correct.
Thus, they're knocking that 16.7 down to 14.7. You see that. We verified too, there was some question as to whether we were inches or point, you know, or decimals, but we clarified that, and that's fine as well. Yeah, like I said, we were out there, we saw everything that's going on. I give it again, pretty straightforward. And if you guys have any questions, any further questions, and when we were out there.
Is there a reason why the existing 10-foot deck isn't, like replacing it in kind, would that be an option for this owner?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
Would they be willing to just replace in kind? Because I understand that they want to replace the deck because it's not in great shape,
Correct.
but I'm trying to understand the reason for the additional 2 feet.
They would like extra room.
Yeah.
There's just not enough room for what they want to do, as far as having family, recreational.
I mean, I guess my concern is it's a dense
Yeah.
neighborhood, and this is verging on a substantial variance. And I don't see a unique condition that leads to this. So if we agree to this, I don't see how we could deny anyone else in this neighborhood doing the exact same.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be 100% sure, but the deck next to it, on the next house, the attached unit, looks like it's already a wider deck.
It's the same setback, though. They align, right?
Yes.
There's a shift in the houses.
Yeah, there's a shift in the
House sitting in front.
Yeah, the
Like
next door
2 feet.
house shifts back like 2 feet, around 2 feet, you know.
Yeah.
And you can bet when they rebuild that deck, they're going to take it to 14 and align with their neighbor.
Yeah.
I have a question, though.
Folks next door.
The house next to that, the one that we're representing, that one coming out from the house to the rear
Yeah,
is a lot
deeper.
yeah, so, but also remember, the house, their home is inward more. So, I mean, denying him two.
It's the same distance from the property line, though.
But denying him
Would
2
appear.
feet of that, I mean, that's kind of like irrelevant. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know, I'm just looking at it. Their neighbors are much, extended outward. And to give him an extra additional 2 feet, it's almost like they're not flushed against each other, but you could, from what you could see, how it's inward in, and
The-
I don't know, I'm just,
The property abutting that, or they're beyond their rear property line is conservation easement, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
So what Dave is trying to get to is the percentage of the variance is larger than 50%, I believe?
Well, it's at 41%.
41%, okay.
so it's less than 50%.
Less than 50, so.
Yeah.
Still.
My concern is the precedent it's going to set, just because there's so many like houses with, I assume, similar sized lots and similar decks.
Yes.
You know, as soon as we start approving, what is almost a substantial variance, we're almost at the 50% mark. I mean, it's going to be, every house could, we can't deny any of them.
How wide
I have some
is this
concern
deck
that,
currently? I know you want to build it 26 feet wide. How wide is it now?
You mean from the edge of the property to the other side?
No,
20
from side to side.
20 feet, right now.
20 feet?
Mhm.
So they're getting an additional 6 feet in the length, like in the width,
Yeah.
whereas the deck next door looks,
But it'll be narrow. They're trying to make it less narrow, so it's, like as the one next to them is not narrow, it's actually like
Right.
rectangle, or actually more square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the deck next door, it really doesn't matter. So the existing deck is 20 feet,
Right.
and you're making it 6 feet?
Or is it 26? I'm sorry.
No,
You want to make it
No, it's
26. You want to go 12 by 26.
Yeah, 12 by 26.
But this deck is not 26 feet wide currently.
No, I have here 20 on my thing.
All right, so it's currently
So it's
10 by 20,
20 by 10.
and you want to go 12 by
12 feet
26.
out.
So
Yeah,
I-
it's the rear that we're having the issue.
So you want
Yeah.
you want to make it 6 feet wider in addition to the additional 2 feet deeper.
Correct.
That's a lot of square footage.
yeah. And I think that's the concern, the way I think you pointed out, once we give one, whole neighborhood may want to go or may want to go a little bit more next time. So we have to be careful with granting the variance. So I think, so your point is
And I
right.
mean, they're dense lots. I mean,
Yes,
this is one of the
right.
denser neighborhoods.
Right.
But even coming out where the stairs are, there's no one on that side. I mean, looks like you're kind of affixed on the 2 feet coming out, more than anything.
I'm concerned with the back property line.
Yeah.
It's actually, with the stairs, it's actually 28 feet wide, right, with the stairs. It's
Well, with the
total
stairs.
28
Right.
feet.
Yeah, because you have 4 feet plus that, yeah.
Deck is 20, looks like it's, the
28
drawing
feet.
says 24.
24 and 4 for the steps, right?
Okay, 24 feet wide and 4 feet for the steps. But
don't have
they're
that
saying
diagram here.
26 feet wide.
But the 26 includes the 4 feet. Yeah.
So, well, if you add the 4 feet to the 24,
I
you get
have.
28.
So
It's on
20
the plan.
24
The
plus
20
4.
I'm sorry, it's 24 plus the 4 is 28.
Right, so it's 28 feet, so you're right.
I mean, I don't see a 10 by 28 deck being, I think that meets a person's needs.
Yeah.
Would you be amenable to,
I'm sorry?
would you be amenable to,
I'm sorry. I can't-
would you be amenable to narrowing?
Shrinking it, it's-
10 inch.
This is the homeowner, I'm trying to make it a more recreational area for them and their family, so they can enjoy the deck a little bit more.
So no?
I think what
I would appreciate it if you can request the extra 2 feet, it would be nice, like they could have it,
I
it'd
think
be
if
great.
the
Can I
extent,
just,
excuse me, if the
may I
extent-
just interject for 1 second?
You certainly may.
I had a 10-foot deck on the back of my house. I went out to 12. It was just too narrow. Once you put a table out there, you want to cook out there, it's just too narrow. So I'm just telling you, I did on my own deck.
I appreciate that.
I needed to go a little
It
wider.
it is
which I
uncomfortable,
needed.
especially when you have people over, it's like, you're like that,
Yep.
so.
I think the problem what I see is having a dense populated area, giving permission one, definitely second one will want it. So now we are making even more denser in that area. So I see the personally concern. If it is a standalone house and a lot of property, I think I would say, yeah, that we can look into that way. But here being dense area, I have my own reservation.
I think too, and David has a valid point. that,
So-
There's
I
nothing really.
couldn't really understand.
David raises a valid point too. There's really nothing unique about the property, right? That we can, basically say, oh, you're encumbered by X, Y, and Z, therefore the 2 feet, you really need it. And so I understand what David's saying. I also understand what John's saying about the depth and the functionality of the deck, right, at 10 feet. I mean, if you reduced it by a foot from a structural
2 feet.
standpoint, it kind of makes it sort of
Thing
more
makes a big
difficult to
difference.
build. But if you reduced it by a foot,
Two.
then it would reduce the variance,
2
the
feet.
overall variance probably down to closer to 30, wouldn't it? Anybody have
Oh.
anybody have a calculator? Right, I mean, if you come at 11 as opposed to, understanding.
25 feet. 11 out of 25 feet.
Correct.
We'll be at
So that's
37%.
14.
Yes, still,
25 minus 11?
Yeah, 37.
Because it would be
I'm not sure.
it would be a 9.3 foot variance, right?
Right,
It's 9.3, right? Yeah,
yeah.
37.
So, it's only a
So
foot,
still
it does
high.
reduce the percentage of variance you're looking for. I mean, would the owners be, what Tom was saying, amenable to shrinking it by a foot?
Can I get him on the phone?
Sure.
Why not?
Is it difficult to build a deck 11 feet?
We end up having a lot of wasted material, is what happens.
That's right, so 10 or
I mean, I think there also is a logic in these neighborhoods where you have townhouses for decks to be at the same distance, that alignment. It's gonna be a lot of in and outs.
Fine. Okay.
You should go ahead, yeah.
While she's doing that, can we just make an amendment to the application and to the notice? So this was filled out quite quickly on a Friday. So she put it for a 12 by 26 deck, and I'd like to correct it that she is looking for a variance for a 12 by 24-foot deck with additional 4-foot stairs.
Yes.
Because it's either 12 by 28 or 12 by 24 with the 4 feet of stairs. 'Cause there is a platform.
Yes.
I just want to correct that 26 foot.
right, okay, yeah.
So it's really a 12 by 24 deck.
Right. And then to note, B, we'll talk about it tomorrow, the
Right,
additional
the-
4 foot of steps.
4-foot stairs. But the width does not impact the
No,
variance.
but for the record, so
Sure.
that if we go out there, it won't be 26 feet.
Right. So we want to clarify with her that this is actually a 24-foot deck.
Well, these are her plans, so.
Right, her plans say 24. Right, that's what I was saying. Plans say 24-foot deck with 4 foot of stairs.
Right, so,
Oh.
Hey, Barb, maybe that's something that we could talk about once we finish with the public hearings tonight?
sure.
Yeah.
And I promise I won't drag it out too long.
Better not, Tom.
Well, at least it's warmer in here.
Nice having the clock at the back, right? It's nice to know what time it was.
Yeah. No o'clock anymore.
Somebody take the clock?
So maybe that's why they-
Judy might have taken it, she's doing a wall of clocks in the fire inspector's office with her.
So she's taking all the clocks?
So it is on the wall in the fire inspector's office.
He actually pointed another point to me that I didn't know. He said the reason why for the additional footage from the rear is allowing them to accommodate everyone going around the table, because where the table is now, it's an inconvenience more, just to enjoy, some kind of a freedom walking, on the front and the back of it. So I guess that would be a perfect reason to do something to extend it outward. So you have that little bit more room, so you can walk freely without crouching against each other. So,
So I take it the 11 feet's not, is off the
yeah,
table.
he goes, otherwise I wouldn't care. He goes, I wouldn't care to do, I would leave it the way it was, leave it the same size. But if I'm gonna do it, I would like to have that extra footage so I can move freely around the deck.
Okay. The other thing we want to clarify with you, Lisa, we started this discussion just before you walked out, is that the drawing shows a 24-foot wide deck, right, with 4 foot of stairs. correct? Right, the application reads a 26-foot wide deck with a 4-foot wide stairs. We just want to make sure that we know what size the deck really is.
The drawings are 12 by 26.
Well, the drawings here are actually, the deck is 24 foot with 4 foot of steps. And then, or 28 where the landing is at that end, and then it cuts into the stairs, so. Here.
Basically this one.
This one, Lisa.
I know, I want to get my,
All the numbers say 26, 12 by 26.
Right,
It's
and
not.
now I'm looking at the plans sitting here, and I'm realizing that's an error.
And then you get to the hand.
so 12 by 26. The plans say 24.
These
should
are
be this
your
one, right?
plans.
Yeah, no, I see it. Yep, I see it.
So that's just clarification, right?
Is that-
Just clarification.
Yeah, but
Correct.
we have to, right? That's important.
but
It's still important.
Whatever you grant, as far as the length out, I want to make sure the width is correct on the record.
Right.
Not-
The width has no bearing on the variance, but we want to make sure we get the deck size right.
Hold on, I'm just
For
gonna-
records, right.
The,
I think
the
we should
deck
postpone.
Rogers, right? It's a 12 by 24 or 12 by 26? On the drawings, it says 12 by 24. I don't know where I got 12 by 26. I don't know. I have no idea. No, I do. Okay, all right, we're good. All right, thank you, bye. 12 by 24,
So we have to
because the
correct.
plans say 12 by 24.
So it's a 12 by 24
Yeah.
deck with a 4-foot
So
staircase.
that just might have been an error, a typo.
A 12 by 24 deck with a 4-foot staircase adjacent.
So that plus the 4 is 28.
Okay. All right, so we're at a 12 by 24 deck, and I guess we're not going to entertain making it any smaller. So if there's any more questions you guys have?
Nobody in the audience, right?
Well, I was going to ask, but I'll make it official. Anybody in the audience have any comments, any questions on the application? So there is not. So that being said, could I have a motion, please, to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion that we close it, public hearing.
I'll second that.
I have, we will close the public hearing. Have a motion, please, to then, or could I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Can I have a motion, please, to grant or deny the applicant the variance?
Okay. I'll make a motion that we grant the variance. The variance will not produce an undesirable change in the neighborhood. It will not be a detriment to the nearby properties. There is a feasible means available to pursue the benefit that you are seeking, but the requested variance also is substantial. But I do not believe it will have an adverse impact on the physical environment of the neighborhood. And the alleged difficulty is self-created. So I make a motion that we grant the variance.
I'll second that.
You have a second? So, all in favor? I'm sorry,
No.
please, have a roll call, please, be.
Yes?
Yes.
No.
No.
I think, based on the fact that the rear property is adjacent to a conservation easement, there's no building or no adjoining or adjacent structures that are ever gonna be built there. I don't think it's really gonna have any much of an impact by going out to 2 feet. So, based on that, I will vote yes for the variance.
Thank you so much. You made a happy family happy.
Okay. We're all set.
Thank you,
Your
guys.
variance is granted.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Mr. Check.
Okay, next up on the agenda tonight is a discussion, appeal number 217734, Yuan Chen, seeking an area variance, I hope I got that right, seeking an area variance, section 24037 of district regulations in an R40 zoning district, where 25 feet to the side yard property line is required. The applicant can provide 16.7 feet for the construction of a 10-foot by 23-foot shed with half bath and a 22-foot 6-inch by 15-foot 6-inch cabana, thus requesting a variance of 8.3 feet. The property is located at 17 Caliburn Court and is identified as tax grid number 625704608498 in the town of Wappinger. Hello, Mr. Chen, how are you tonight?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Could you please give us a brief description of what you need and why you need it?
Yeah, so I'm just finishing the backyard, putting a
Yes.
pool in, and I want to build 2 structures on either side, one for, shed for storage with a bathroom, and the other one for cabana, so we can get some shade
Gotcha.
and screen, and serve as screening from the neighbors. Ideally, I like to put the pool out this way, lengthwise from the house, but the house, it's a big property, but it goes back, the house is set back so much that it's just
a lot
not
of topo, a lot of topography.
So I had to go
right?
sideways, and it's encroaching on the setbacks.
Looks like your grade goes up as you go back.
Yeah.
Grade goes up. Yeah, I see, looks like it takes off pretty good, right?
Yeah,
In the
and I
back.
didn't want it right next to the pool, because people are hanging out there, they
Yeah,
get, so.
very deep lot too, as well. Let's see. Got it. Is there any questions?
So it's the cabana that needs the variance, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
pool house with the half bath is at 25 feet?
yeah, that's in between the driveway and the backyard. so.
Okay.
Yeah. Three is looking for.
Oh, it's a proposed pool? Pool's not in yet?
The pool is in,
It is, okay.
yeah, it's not finished, but it's,
And those are gonna be your 2 accessory structures?
yes.
Okay.
But like David stated, we're looking for the variance for the cabana.
Yeah, that has 25 feet, looks like.
Yeah, that's what we need, we're looking for an 8.3-foot variance. Right. What we generally do is we like to come out and do a site visit, and we generally do that the week prior to the next zoning board meeting. So it wouldn't be this Saturday, so probably,
Yeah, I
Oh,
was gonna bring that up. So maybe,
that holiday weekend is the following Saturday. You guys want to do it this Saturday?
I was thinking maybe the Saturday would be
Yes.
better, the 26th.
You
Right.
also have the 10th of July. Next week's a bye week,
Oh,
so it's
right,
really
right, right.
3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Oh.
You have to
So
say,
maybe, but we'll probably do it then. If we do it this week, we're gonna forget what we saw by the time, next meeting was.
there's nothing to see.
I know when there's a bye week, I have no meetings. I know when those are.
It's a bye week. So that Saturday is the 10th.
The 10th.
Okay, so we'll schedule a site visit for Saturday, the 10th. We'll be out there around 9 o'clock. All right, what we usually ask you to do, if you can, if possible, if you could mark out that or locate that side property line, so we have a pretty good idea
It's
of
staked
where you
out
want it.
already.
It is
Staked
already.
out.
How about the footprint of the cabana?
It's got 2 stakes. The back
All right,
stakes.
the back stakes?
I believe so,
That's
yeah.
perfect. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay. Okay, Dwayne, we'll schedule you for a public hearing on July 13th.
13th, okay.
Right, so the site visit on the 10th, public hearing on the 13th.
Okay, do I need to be there, or?
At the site visit?
Yeah.
No, you really don't, as long as you have everything marked out. And we could see and figure out what's going on. No, like, big dogs in the yard or anything.
No, no. Just two crazy kids.
So just basically markings, we're good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, as long as it's marked out, we could see what's going on.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any other further questions. You guys?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, so we'll do the site visit on the 13th? No?
No, on the 10th.
We'll see, yeah, but the site visit on the 10th, see on the 13th, you got it. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, so,
Did we close the public hearing? We did, right?
Well, yeah, let's close it.
We haven't
We
closed it
didn't
yet.
have a public hearing.
yeah, that was a discussion.
No, but we closed our other public hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so
All right, so should we adjourn first?
just quick, no, this doesn't need to be adjourned. I just wanted to ask if, it seems like, and I've said this to these guys, and I might have said it to you, having been filling out applications for things, I think coming in on a, let's just say, coming in and trying to do this quickly is not necessarily the best thing for us, because we see mistakes coming up. That's just my pet peeve with that I'm seeing. The last several, I know everybody's in a hurry, and I know there's the
Right.
COVID rush, and
And they've been coming in, like, one of the people tonight, who was supposed to be there on Thursday, came at the very end of Friday, which makes it very difficult for B. So
Yes.
I think going forward, if they're not in maybe by Thursday morning, they
Right.
wait a month. They have to wait until,
Sure, I'd be fine.
So
I'm
be
fine
it,
with that.
right.
because
Yeah.
then you'll also get it at least a week in advance. And if it's a Thursday, you
Yeah.
have it by the weekend. What happens on a Friday too, B winds up having to take it to the post office, right?
No, I'm fine with that. If you guys,
I think we need to,
yeah.
So when would you like it
Yeah.
for your office?
so it should be middle of the week, I would suggest.
have our submission dates, I mean,
Right.
I would prefer going 2 weeks. If you don't get it to me, like for instance, July's meeting is what, June 22nd?
Yeah.
The submission date was May 25th.
Hmm.
But we
May
can
or
do it like
What do you mean, May? For
I
tonight?
am-
That-
Yeah.
That's more, I think, geared, to be honest, for the planning board. So let's just say what this board does. People come in for pools and sheds, like today I
Yes.
denied somebody. If you went on the planning board schedule, they wouldn't get in until August.
Right.
And unlike the planning board where there's a lot of reviews and you have consultants that are doing reviews and it has to be mailed to, out of the county, I think even a full week, my opinion, if you even close it, like say the meeting tonight should have been closed a week ago Friday, so it's like 10 days. I think 2 weeks, the person's already put in a permit, we've been running 2 to 3 weeks behind before I even get it to deny it. To make them wait 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks for the meeting, and then another 2 weeks for the public hearing, you're talking 8 to 10 weeks to get an answer on a pool.
But this is for appeal, not for appeal, for planning board, so.
Right, the
so
planning
I-
board, there are
yeah,
other
so-
people involved, there's a lot
Yeah.
of reviews,
Right,
so.
so for zoning board
What would
still,
what would you think is fair?
So you meet on a Tuesday, not the Friday before, the Friday before that, so 10 days? Or that Thursday?
that Thursday we can do because our mail goes out at 11:30.
mhm.
I would have to make a special trip to the post office.
No, I'm not talking the week before, 2 weeks before, but on like a Thursday.
Oh, yeah.
Not 2 whole weeks, it would be like 10 days, so that Thursday, so that you can still prepare it, and even if you were running late on Thursday, you still have Friday morning. If the mail isn't into the town clerk by 11 o'clock, and it won't go out till Monday,
Got it.
because when the mailman comes, and if he's early that day, that's the only pickup.
Sure.
I just think waiting a whole 2 weeks
That'll
is
be
taking
fine.
6 weeks to get
Yeah,
an
right.
answer, and the permit might have been in our office for 2 weeks.
Sure.
I just think that's a little excessive, because you don't have the attorney here unless it's something really difficult, and at that point, you still would have it almost a week in advance to look at.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
And just to be clear, I'm not saying that we're rushing these through, us or you. I'm just
Well,
saying
no, this
we're.
particular one had all the errors, was
That's
on
all
the-
I'm saying.
filling it out at the office on
Yeah.
the fly when it was supposed to be.
Yeah, basically the.
She wasn't clear what she was
And-
asking for either, I mean.
And also I see the cost, we have to do extra mailing, because you already send one and then last minute comes, you have to send it again. So that's a lot of work from your side, cost. So
Basically give
having
everybody
10
a little
days.
bit more time to review the data, make sure the
Yeah.
numbers are accurate.
That's
and
all I'm saying.
If we don't have any
I
questions.
agree.
So I'm good with that. You
It
good with
gives
that,
me
Bea?
more time
Okay.
and the board more
Well,
time.
numbers accurate and numbers complete, because we've had numerous times now where we've asked for information several times but not got it. Like distance from the property line, you know.
Yes, right. the
When you
same.
read the application, it says right on there, make sure these numbers are accurate and complete and
Right.
filled out correctly
And-
and legible.
Yeah.
And if the applicant doesn't fill it out accurately, then we can just, sit here and speak to them, and if the numbers aren't accurate, then we get adjourned, then we'll have to go the next week, and that's just the way it's gonna be. And then we'll do that timetable
True.
that Barbara just said.
And this is a problem we have even with, I get building permits. I had one today, and the person said, I have 25 feet, and their survey clearly said they had, I think it was 14 feet. Where did they get the numbers? So, we're looking at even the building permits tough, or like this, you say it's 26 feet, it's clearly 24 plus steps. So it's either 24 or 28 with steps, it's like one or the other. And this, we spend a lot of time, the clerks spend a lot of times calling back
Yeah, right.
residents for clarification, I do. We even have trouble with professional submissions from engineers and architects that have a lot of errors.
That's not
I don't know anything about that.
Present
pleads the
company
fifth.
excluded.
It's the interns. The
All right,
interns
so
over there.
no further business tonight. I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion
I
to
second.
adjourn.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank
All
you.
done.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you.